Thanks, Curtis. Hi, everybody. We're going to go through a program here. Tom, do I hit the lower side one?
Right.
All right. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about ID, the Imaginal Design program. But first, I want to just tell a little backstory to the video that Tom showed. Um, those kids, those students were really engaged in that video. And if you go back and if we make the video available, you'll see that they were talking in a very engaged way. And that's because that project almost never happened. We don't sit kids down at desks and then talk at them. We create modules for learning that's really open-ended and student-driven, and we're facilitators. We introduce ideas and concepts, but we give a lot of room for students to create their own adventures, as it were, to create their own way forward in a project. And in this particular one, there were two factions that broke out in the class, and two of the guys actually on the video were screaming at each other and fighting. Now, in a typical class, what would happen? The two guys are gone, right? Send them out. Instead, Carissa and I, we said, you know what, guys, look, like you've got this major project that you've got to do. You've got 3 weeks left, so you've got at least one of two choices. You could blow the project, continue fighting, and figure out what else to do, or you can find a way to move forward with the project. So then we sat back and we watched what's going to happen. And one of the guys on the video said, you know what? We've worked hard on this project. Let's make it happen. And he turns to the guy and he says, I'm really sorry. Would you forgive me? Like, can we just make amends? Another guy says, yeah, let's do it. Like for the project, right? I mean, a little cheesy, but let's do it for the project. And then the two factions came together. And these two guys shook hands and they said, let's move on. It wasn't us. We said, look, you can quit the project. No problem. We'll figure out what else to do. But this project came out of their own intentionality. I like to ask big questions because really a program like this, we're doing it because there's a lot of things going on in the world. You can kind of see the rate of complexity and rapid change increasing, and our ability to manage really kind of hitting a plateau. So what do? How do you educate kids for this? Do you think about, for instance, the future of work? Will jobs fall prey to the fourth and fifth industrial revolutions? Will we see the majority of people trading in the numb of work hours for the bliss of universal basic income? And how do you educate in these emerging times? How do we prepare our children for this world of massive change, as Bruce Mao calls it? As we talked about, as Marcy and Curtis talked about, how do we pass down the ancient virtues of the Christian faith in a hyper-modern and postmodern world? How do we foster leaders of tomorrow who make a difference in the world with character, courage, and conviction? And who's preparing our children for this future? A future we know very little about, other than it's going to be wholly and radically different from what it is today. Well, that's really our mandate in the whole Imaginal Plus, and in particularly the Imaginal Design program. We're preparing students for the future with a difference. We're navigating the changing world. Our Christian faith is foundational for how we navigate through these times. We also are interested in invention, an invention that must fit the future, not the present. So this Imaginal Design is pedagogy from the future. Tom shed some light on that, and we really, when we're planning this program, we are looking into the future. What's happening? What are the trends? Where is it going? And let's pull those ideas into the now. And let's bring our children into that context, into those conversations, and let's give them skills and a depth of Christian faith so that they can move forward. The idea is Imaginal Design. It's a Christian pedagogy for the 21st century, fusing arts and science with creativity and innovation. Foundational is the way. It's the foundation of Christian faith and being a Christian in the modern world. And there are different ways that we can teach that through modules, through conversation, but really bringing kids into, or students into, our Christian faith and even having very hard conversations. Sometimes in class, there are students who maintain they're atheists or agnostics. Well, we can have those conversations. That's actually a wonderful conversation to have. typically when people are atheists, I find I'm an atheist to the God that they explain as well. So that's a good conversation to have. Becoming imaginal is seeing, learning from, and creating the future. And that's the whole futurism part, scenario planning, model building. Another thing that's part of this project that Tom didn't mention is that some of this has also come out of work at the World Economic Forum that I was a part of with a team. And we were creating scenarios for world leaders at Davos to look at long-term forecasting. So why not teach students the same thing? Why only allow elites to look at this? Why not students? Why not all of us? So Manoa methods, S-curve analyses, data from the future. Art and design is the development of art and design skills, drawing, sketching, mixed media, not just screens. We don't want to just have screens. We want to bring people into a tactile environment, getting into paints and inks and paper, creating products, creating installations. Like this is from the Bruce Mao Massive Change. I really like Bruce Mao stuff. It's wonderful. So we want to create conversations and engage in very difficult concepts, but then always create ways for the students to create installations and design experiences, bring other people into those conversations through those experiences. Big ideas, propaganda, identity, sustainability. Sustainability is a big one. We actually want to reappropriate sustainability into a love for the world, a love for creation, and what it means to be humans in a created world that's been created for us. And globalism, transhumanism, and again, taking those ideas and then finding ways artistically and from a design perspective to represent them and bring people into those conversations. The heart of ideas, who you are becoming. While competencies are important, and we've talked about that for the 21st century, it's the development of the person as made in the image of God that is of greatest value. Each one of us is created uniquely by God, and becoming ourselves is becoming the person we are created to become. And if we can be a catalyst for that and a facilitator for students to come and become more and more themselves, that's our objective. The program schematic, very quickly here. Junior high is 7 to 9. This is the root program. Finding roots in a foundation of fertile soil. Again, that becoming piece is very important. So we're finding experiences, ways for students to become more and more who they are, through creativity, through innovation, through faith, and some of the things that they'll learn, though this is certainly a very short list for the purpose of time: growth mindset, identity in Christ, Christian history makers, 5 keys to becoming imaginal, seeing the future, imaginal leadership, and much more. I can't go into detail. This presentation, Tom told me I've got 10 minutes. It could be an hour, but maybe another time, Tom.
Explain transhumanism.
Oh, Tom asked me to explain transhumanism. How many of you are familiar with the term transhumanism? I encourage you to look it up. It's actually the embedding of technology into the human body for the purpose of enhancement. So enhancing the body through technology. Look at Elon Musk recently claimed that they have embedded a chip into a human being. That was, I think, 4 weeks ago. This for the purpose of various types of ailments, Parkinson's, etc. But you can just follow, you can follow the trajectory. Where is this going to go? So these are very important things that we need to talk about. The senior program, senior high 10 to 12, reaching for light, optimizing growth. And some of the things we'll be looking at are personal drivers. What is it inside them that they want to live out, that they want to create, that they want to become in the world? Keys to becoming imaginal, maturing in one's Christian faith, and also entrepreneurship. There's an internship program that we're developing as ways of students to take their ideas to the world. Here's a quick trajectory, a little sketch showing the root program that focuses on foundations of Christian faith and becoming imaginal from 7 to 9. Grade 10 is starting to get a little bit more action-focused, creating and implementing one's ideas in the real world, spreading light. Grade 12 we look at as an internship program with some corporate partners and also perhaps some facilitation. Applying imaginal design to be the stewards of the world God created us to be. There is a real ecology element to this program. A quick quote from John Zizula's, if art and science could interpenetrate with the help of myth, the natural environment would benefit enormously. And that is really what we want to do, is take the foundations of our Christian faith and the beautiful life of the Christian, and then look at how art and science can be of benefit and really prepare students to go into the world and become light in the world. Some architectural points. Architecture is also very important. There's process, tools, and environment that we look at. And we take a lot of care in creating environments. Tom talked a little bit about those environments. There was the three spaces that will be at the heart of the ID program. One of them is the Imaginal Design Studio. Again, this is highly engaging, collaborative work in spaces that are designed for design and innovation. So we're looking at various types of environments over the long term as we build out this Imaginal Design program.